Here we go. So welcome to you yoga moms, if you're listening to us live or ready to catch the archive. This is our first inspiring interview that we're doing now by phone with someone who I'm super excited and honored to have here with us, Kim Somers Egelsee. So Kim is here. Do you want to say hi over there, Kim?
Hello, everybody. Thank you for having me on. I'm excited.
Yeah, and, you know, I wanted to have you on the call, Kim, because you're just someone, you're definitely, a yoga mom is just one of the ways to describe you, but you seem to me that you're just in such a great place with how you're feeling with your life and your health and even your body and your wellness and how you fit it all in and still seem to enjoy the ride. And yeah, you're someone who just inspires me with how you're living your life. And I love that when I've gotten to learn from you, I feel like you're so practical and spiritual. And so I love that. And
thank you.
I also think it's intriguing, and I thought it'd be fun to bring this in a little bit with our program, that I know some of your newest admitted expertise is that you're offering what you like to offer on things like style and confidence too, which I just found myself thinking is cool to consider in this realm with yoga moms who want to stop waiting and lighten up, as I call this program. So yeah, but Kim, I know you're a life coach among other things with many titles and lots of great experience, and you work with lots of people one-on-one and in groups and seem to be speaking like 50 times a month, and it's obvious,
no.
Yeah, so the world is catching a drift about you.
Oh, so, thank you.
Yeah, so thank you for making time to be with us.
Yeah, I'm excited. This is a great program, and I love having you involved in my life in many ways as well, in teaching my kids and I yoga and helping us with our yoga mindset, and also being a part of my mastermind group, and we speak together as well. So I feel really blessed to be a part of your life as well.
Yay, lucky us. Yeah, and it feels like it's only just begun. So I'm, super excited. So, yeah, so this, you turned out, and it feels perfect that you're the first person that I'm doing one of these interviews with. And so just to let you know a little bit of some of how this approach is different from what we're doing so far, so you know where we're coming from on this. Some of the things that I've given these yoga moms to do, they've been doing for about 2 weeks, include a daily, short, efficient mat practice. So we are using things like the postures and movement and alignment with that good work as part of our process. We're playing with some different simple meditation techniques. We're using a few breath things more and more. I shared the EFT tapping with them as another tool that I think is very yoga, which I'm sure you know about and use.
Mm-hmm.
And just fun to think of it all in more of a perspective of like energy medicine. And also just really curious about mindset as part of just, really I created this program because I wanted to help moms who might like to use yoga, who are ready to just get out of the whole weight struggle and get more where they want to with how they feel and even look. But really just I see it's something that makes so many people so miserable, and I'm curious about the momentum of what can happen for people and how much of it is about things like belief and expectation and just even some of our old ways of thinking about it. So I'm not so much making it about burning calories or even a super athletic practice, and not even talking a ton about specific diet and nutrition, more just that you could, as you get feeling better and start to feel out what's right for you, that will be a way to go about it with nutrition. But yeah, so I just felt like you are someone who, I know you have found some great ways with eating, and you do make it a point to get a lot of movement and exercise and do all that as part of your seeming to look and feel great. But I also have the feeling you'd be someone who knows at this point about the power of the mindset with something like weight as just another thing we might want to create more of what we do want. and even just, yeah, how we can get out of that struggle of the struggle where it's just, you know, we start to define ourselves as that, and just all the things we might believe about aging and what has to happen with our bodies and metabolism. And so, yeah, some of our initial concepts we got into are things like a yogi approach that everything is energy, and to see even things like excess weight in a more of an energetic perspective, and that everything is connected, you know, that there's all these different parts of us that are part of those issues, quote unquote, and then, you know, starting to look at our beliefs about what's possible for ourselves with this, and expectation, and shifting that a bit, and even starting to play with imagination as such a power tool for, you know, like if you can't imagine yourself where you want to be, you know, how likely are you to get there? So, so that's a little bit of like what I've been wanting to add in as the first pieces with this. So there is some of the use of the postures, but it's a lot even too about the psychology and the mindset that I feel is what's going to really make this a powerful process for all of us to just get in a different place with this and move on with it as an issue, and however that looks for each of us. So anything you want to say on that before I ask you any specific questions?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I agree. And I like how you're doing it very free-flowing, because I feel like everyone has their own unique why and their own unique path to getting to that place of feeling completely healthy and well and fit and vibrant and beautiful. And it means different things for different people. And so I think the first thing is just to figure out your why of why you want to be that way, and kind of just take some time to tune into, when do you feel your best? How do you look? What foods make you feel your best? When do you feel low? What foods make you feel low? And start keeping track of that, because if you think of it in the matter of, okay, maybe on the days that I go to an event, or even maybe go to the store and I was kind of sloppy, or I didn't really get that ready, I felt really low energy, not to do with anyone else, but just to do with myself. Or maybe, you know, maybe for some other people, like they actually feel liberated to do that once in a while. So it's really different for everyone. But also to tune in and go, okay, if I make this choice and drink a soda, I'm going to feel low energy the rest of the day. So let me stop myself and say, okay, I'm not going to punish myself. I'm going to make a better choice so the rest of the day I have a great day. But I think when you're just to quickly explain something, when you're making the goal to feel fit, healthy, vibrant, and well, obviously yoga is an amazing practice and mindset to add to it. But when you're figuring out your goal, make sure that you have a strong why, but then also make sure that you know the reasons you deserve it. Like, why do you deserve for this to come true? And really shift your mind that way. Like, if you can come up with 5 reasons you deserve to get to that place of health and wellness and fitness and looking amazing, then your mind is going to start to shift and go, wow, okay, I'm going to take you there. And a lot of times someone's blocked and they're going, well, I've always been this way, so I guess I'm just going to stay this way. Or I don't do as much work as this person, so maybe I won't achieve as much as this person. And we get stuck that way because our mind will focus on it. So I always say to do the goal, do the why, the 5 reasons you deserve it, and then the 5 things you're going to do differently that you haven't done before. So maybe it is a yoga practice, maybe it's hiking, maybe it's eliminating sugar for a few weeks, you know, just to kind of see how you feel. But that's just a little mini part of my goal setting method, but it definitely helps shift your mind for you to flow and move forward into achieving that, and not necessarily, like Laura Jane's talking about, not necessarily making it this big structured forceful thing, but more of this is the lifestyle I'm kind of stepping into.
I love that. I love how those are such specific ways to bring in, like, the self-worth thing and just even why I deserve that. Because, I really had a feeling that the whole self-love thing is so related. And that I was thinking about you as someone who has decided to fit it in, the things that you love and the things that make you feel good. And that is a level of worthiness for ourselves, right, to decide we're worth it. And then I love that you bring up the energetic perspective, like, especially with making food choices. I feel like for me too, that was a real shift when I started to notice when I ate, say artificial candy. We have my kids at Halloween, and I decide, oh, I want to have a Butterfinger. I started to just notice it did make me feel kind of energetically low the next day or later. And so even now, if I think I might have one, it's kind of like, well, is it worth that? And that was the most convincing factor ever, when it was like whether or not it's going to make me fat or not, or whether or not it's, even other reasoning. But the energetic approach just feels really good and different. And so thank you for those specifics already. Those seem like great power tools, and we'll definitely build that into our home play, because I love seeing how things like writing down things in your journal, like setting goals and such, is part of our yoga too. It's just knowing that yoga is union, so that's perfect. I love it. And the why. And I love too that you were saying to do 5 new things, because I see how much, and I know you seem so in tune with this, how belief is so powerful. And for us to even believe that this is possible, like this time is going to be different, to think, oh, wait, I am doing things differently. That's going to help build the belief to actually be doing things that feel new. So it's not just you're talking yourself into it, but you actually see you are doing things, and then it builds the belief where you is more powerful. So
absolutely, and you can kind of shut your ego down that way, because you could say, well, my old self used to do it this way, but now I have all these new tools and I'm stepping into new wisdom. So anytime those old thoughts come up, like, you're just going to self-sabotage or fall off the wagon or not meet your goals, you could say, yeah, that was my old self, but now I have all these tools that I'm using, so there's no way I'm going to fail.
Yeah, and that's just where I love seeing that's such a yogi thing to do, to really get a hold of our focus and attention and choose where we're going to put it, and that understanding even that whatever we focus on grows. And I love seeing now that that's a yogi thing to do, to focus on what we do want. The yogis would say we would flip the mind, and that, the things you're saying I see are such a specific, again, such a tangible specific that can help us do the opposite of what we probably have been doing, and really, just create what we do want, and it's cool. Steers the focus and the attention and the energy. It's cool stuff. So that's how I see the mindset is such a, I think, most powerful thing probably, really. I really like the use of things like the postures and movement and things, but I don't know if we don't shift the mindset. But I don't know, but I think doing all those things helps us shift the mindset too. So
a combination.
It's exciting, isn't it? Okay, so let's see. Since we're going to be efficient about our time here, I'll get right to some of what I thought I might like to ask you about more of. And you already gave us some great specifics. So I know I was going to ask you about how to help people like these yoga moms increase their self-worth and willingness to invest the time, energy, and even the money toward how one feels. And, I think maybe I'd like to ask you more what you're noticing, since you're so teaching the confidence and style thing, more about that, how you think moms who are really wanting to create a new self here and a new way, with even the specifics of how they feel about their weight, do you have some more playful, powerful ideas, or
I would love to. It's interesting
for
because,
how to do things like confidence and style, as part of their approach.
Totally, it's funny because without naming names, a client that I just had right before this call, we've been already meeting for quite a while, and I was checking in with her and saying, what has shifted, how are you feeling, etc. And she said, since I've been really dedicated to wellness and health and fitness, everything has shifted, because I feel proud of myself and I feel different. I feel vibrant and more energy and more able to look someone in the eye because I'm doing something for myself, and I'm starting to notice the difference in my energy and how I feel about myself and what I wear. And so it's amazing how if you just pick one thing, the rest starts to fall in place. And then she started getting interested in mindset and in personal development and going to seminars and, doing spin classes and all kinds of things. And so I think that a lot of times people get overwhelmed and say, I've got 8 things I need to work on, forget it, it's too hard, there's too many things. And I think if you just pick 1 or 2 things and say, okay, I'm going to do these things, and with confidence, it definitely will help to do yoga and to do fitness and to do these things related to making yourself feel good, because it definitely reaches the inner beauty. But I would suggest also to start to challenge yourself, different little things. I mean, it could be even something as simple as going and talking to 2 new people at the next activity you go to, even if it's at the store, and just telling your mind, wow, I was bold today. I made that confident move and talked to 2 people. Or anytime you notice yourself being more confident or bold, or kind of letting out any unique qualities about yourself, tell yourself later on in the day, wow, I did that today. I showed some unique qualities about myself. And I think one of the biggest things, and it's so simple, but most people don't do it, is just to be able to write a list of about 10 to 20 things you love about yourself, that you're in love with about yourself, and carry it with you for about a month, and just get used to owning and knowing those things about yourself and letting them out to the world more, because most people don't. I've spoken at so many events, not as many as Laura Jane says, but but I do speak at a lot of events, and I like to ask that question. How many of you could just write a list of 10 things or so that you love about yourself? And usually 5 to 8% of the audience only raises their hand, no matter what type of audience it is. And that, to me, shows that this could be something that could shift so many people if they just get to that place of believing and owning it and letting it out to the world.
Yeah. Well, I love that I'm realizing I noticed that you are a woman who seems to be in action towards what you want and the things you want to create and enjoy. But I love that you help us bring in more action with things like even building our confidence and bravery, because that's the kind of thing some of us, even who are aware of the power of saying to ourselves, oh, I was bold today, or I was courageous, it's even easier to say that to ourselves if we actually did see ourselves do something new and different. And so I love that you give these like tangible, practical ways to make it so much more powerful and to build the momentum. It's really cool, and I see how that can work so well. And I'm excited about the power of that. That's such a yogi thing to do, again, to flip what we're probably often usually doing, even if we don't realize it, in our minds about ourselves and the things we're thinking about ourselves. And again, how that's leading to what we end up eating, and even how energy is with our bodies and all the ways that manifests. So we now know more than ever. Whew, that's powerful. So great. Yeah. Again, I love how you're bringing the action that really makes it happen.
Yeah, and it sounds so funny to tell yourself, but it's funny. Otherwise, we aren't in the moment and we don't remember. And so the more we tell ourselves, the more our mind starts to go, oh, okay, I really am a bold person. I really am a confident person. You start to train your mind that this is the new you. This is how you are now. And you less and less feel, uncertain or doubtful or insecure or low self-esteem. You start to really be in your power of feeling great all the time.
Yeah, and that just makes so much sense to me, how powerfully that will affect someone to change how they're feeling and carrying themselves and perceiving themselves, and even down to a specific, like how they're feeling in their body and how they're looking in their body, and how that's coming into the world. So that's totally awesome. Let's see here. What might be the next question I want to ask you? Yeah, I mean, I know for some of us it seems like the weight thing can, some people it's 20, 40, 60 years that it's been an issue, and speaking of momentum. So, which is, I guess, confidence too, and self-worth are issues the same. But any other specifics you might want to suggest as far as dealing with long-standing issues that there may be a lot of momentum around, and how we can gently, lovingly, but powerfully let ourselves shift that? You've already said several things that fall under that, but I guess that if there's any more you'd want to say on that.
Yeah, I think definitely. I think one of the most common beliefs that pop up are, especially if it has been that many years, is, well, I've never done it yet, so why would I do it now? And so you definitely want to be able to shift that and go, well, why wouldn't I do it now? I've made the decision. I'm wiser now. I know what not to do. I know what to do. And if you don't know what to do, you have mentors, and you have accountability partners or friends or people that maybe you could ask for feedback, like what do you think I should do, and just start getting ideas and gathering feedback of how powerful you really are, because sometimes we just don't know, we've forgotten, and we need to get that feedback and advice from other people. But a fun exercise you can do that really could help you shift your mind is just to write down some of the doubts and uncertainties and fears you have about this. So maybe I'll give you an example. Maybe let's say there's a woman named Sarah, and she has decided, you know, maybe she wants to go from a size 12 to a size 6. And so she feels a little bit like that's very difficult. It's a hard road ahead. She's got all these negative beliefs, but she's very excited and she has a lot of plans on what to do to get there. So maybe her 3 top uncertainties or fears are, I will never lose the weight, I will self-sabotage and eat junk food at night. Maybe that's another one that's a pattern for her. If I don't lose the weight, then my friends and family will be disappointed in me, things like that. Let's say those are her fears or doubts. And then, so that's the first step. And then what you're going to do is give yourself about 20 minutes and write down every positive possibility that could happen. And so her positive possibilities are going to so far outweigh those 3 little fears and doubts that what happens is your brain starts to go, oh, and it starts to almost be like a scale. And the scale starts to go, oh, wow, the positive possibilities are so outweighing this. It's going to win. And so she might say, you know, I might even get to a size 4. I'll look amazing in these size 6, you know, pants. I can wear a mini skirt again. I'll feel vibrant and more energetic. I'll be able to play with my kids 2 extra hours a night because I'll have so much energy. My husband will be very excited when I wear a hot red dress, whatever. But there could be a list of like 50 positive possibilities. And so pretty soon the fears, doubts, and uncertainties start to shrink, and you start to really just look forward to what is possible. And it really is like almost like you're playing a trick on your mind, but with real facts and real possibilities. And the possibilities are stronger.
Yeah. I love that. And that's just, such a perfect use of how we're handling ourselves and really directing the focus. And such a playful way, too. I like that it's just kind of softer and easier and inviting to make it like positive possibilities. You know, it's not so like intimidating as things like beliefs or expectations. So really feels good, and I can see, the power of that. So
when it's very difficult for your mind, it's just the same thing if you're having a bad day or something, and if it's just kind of, you know, one of those days and you're saying, okay, I don't want to have a bad day today. Once in a while, maybe you will want to have a bad day and say, you know what, I just need to have a bad day today. We have to feel our feelings. Right. That's understandable that does happen. But let's say you're having a day where you say, okay, I want to snap out of this. What is happening here? If you just stop and take a few deep breaths, maybe even go for a quick walk, and you have your mind think of like 5 to 10 things that you're grateful for or that are beautiful in nature or something that you saw that showed you signs of love or happiness today, what happens is it starts to push all the bad thoughts away, because your mind, it's really hard for your brain to think of low energy thoughts when you're filling it up with high energy. And that is what this positive possibilities is because the doubts and uncertainties are low energy, but you're covering all of those up and saying, no, I've decided, I've made up my mind that the high energy possibilities are going to win. Yeah, and just the power of that is so golden. Wow. And, you know, I think I'll just keep you for a few more minutes because I know we are going to get you off before 2:40. But I want to ask you also, because you seem to be someone who you're so good about making sure you're having fun. And, tell us more about why you know that's part of your recipe for success. I'm really big on, you know, what's the point unless you can. I mean, I get that some things are positive challenges and stuff, but I try to make everything fun. And so I'm very intentional with scheduling, and I'm really big on not doing anything in my schedule unless I 100% want to do it. And unless it's taxes or something, laundry or something, but for the most part. And so that includes going to an event or going to lunch with someone or going traveling on a trip or, you know, doing yoga, going for a hike. I want to be able to have everything on my calendar that I only want to do 100%, because I feel like otherwise I'm punishing myself. And so it really helps me make sure that I'm always happy and having fun and passionate about what I'm doing. And so that includes even what I'm doing in my career. I'll make a list of everything I'm doing and what I want to be doing, and I'll just filter out or eliminate the things that I'm not having fun doing anymore. And it just makes for every day much happier, much more fulfilled. I schedule in trips, I schedule in concerts. I just make sure that I'm always having things to look forward to. And with my kids too, we do that. You know, my daughters are 8 and 2, and my daughter was just saying, let's make a summer bucket list. Let's, you know, figure out what we want to do this summer that's fun. And I just think that that's what life is all about, you know, and even work, you can make it silly and fun if you have to do stuff that is tedious, or, you know, like sweeping the backyard. You could put music on and look out at the birds and whatever you need to do.
Yeah. And I love that. And I can see it's so cool to hear that from you, because I see that you seem to have a full, rich calendar, and to imagine it's all things you're excited about and the momentum of that. And really just to see, I love that about you. It's like, oh, you're living it. You know, you're not just talking about this stuff. It's like you're there doing it. And it's, and I love too that this really goes with how I see kind of what we're doing with all of this yoga therapy stuff, and, you know, the things you're mentioning too is about just helping ourselves feel even better, and just the power of that and the momentum of that. And so whether it's manifesting specific with how we're feeling physically or mentally, or what our career life looks like, but to just build the momentum and just the level of self-worth that we can grow with deciding that we're worth it and it's possible, and filling ourselves up in these types of ways. So yeah,
absolutely,
I'm so excited about it. I'm so excited about it. I feel like there's so much possibility in, you know, how just people could feel different about themselves in life, and with a specific like this, that it's just, I know for me too, at some point, you know, I would see that it's just something to even busy myself with, to kind of not have to move on to what I really want to be doing with my time and energy. So I'm excited to consider freeing more of us up from the whole weight thing as just one of the things we don't want to be doing, and more into what we do want to be doing and how we do want to be feeling. So
awesome. Absolutely. I love it.
Thank you so much, Kim.
Yeah,
well, okay.
Thank you. This was really fun, and I would love to celebrate all of the successes later on with you, with all these people involved in your program.
Great. Yeah, I look forward to it. And just so you yoga moms know, I'm doing a mastermind with Kim that I'm so excited to be a part of. So I'll definitely make sure you know how to hook up with Kim and start learning more with her, because obviously she's
Thank
fabulous.
you so much. Okay, well, I'll see you soon. Bye, everybody.
All right, see you soon for yoga. All right, bye-bye.